Hey, welcome to the Relatable Podcast with Jenny.
And I am Vince Serrano, and we want you to go follow us on Twitter and IG at Relatable Podcast. That's REL, the number 8, TABLE Podcast. All right. What's going on? Welcome to the Relatable Podcast. It's your boy Vince.
And it's Jenny.
Glad to see y'all. Doing good. Jenny, what's up, man?
Nothing.
What up?
I'm just glad it's the end of the day.
Yeah, for real. Why, did you had a hectic day today?
Yep. I had to be a teacher.
Yeah. How's that going?
I'm ready to chill out with our wine.
For sure. Let's toast to that. I had a hectic day too.
Yes, from start to finish.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's kind of like no matter what you do, no matter how good you are, you still have days that will challenge your ass. You feel that way?
Yep.
I feel that way.
Every day.
For sure. Well, yeah, what do you want to talk about today?
Let's see. Do you think that when deciding who you want to be with, that the number of sexual partners matters?
Whoa. Well, if you guys didn't know, this is the Relatable Podcast, and I don't even know what the questions are yet. Okay, so yes and no.
I think you mean yes, as in it matters the female that you're with, and no for the guy.
So I think it does matter for both, right? Because I want to know certain things, but like I don't necessarily want to know the number, right? Because it's a rule of thumb. No matter what you tell me, I gotta multiply it by 3, like straight up. Yeah, that's what it is. What about you?
I think that once we're like in our 30s, getting into relationships, it's probably unimportant.
What do you mean, body count doesn't matter?
I think
body count definitely matters.
I think it matters more when you're in your 20s, because you haven't been like an adult probably in long enough time to where if you're like early 20s and you're already at like 20 people, like that shows a lot about you.
Okay, but what if you're getting your 30s and now you start adding up the body count? Like you're like RoboCop, you out there killing it all.
Do you think that it's important to find out before you get married?
I mean, I think you got to do your research for sure. Like you got to do your research.
I feel like guys would lie either way, if they have a small amount or if they have a large amount. If they have a small amount, then it kind of looks like they may feel like it makes them look like they don't have much game. And if they have a large amount, they're going to lie about it and make the number sound lower because they don't want themselves to look like they've been around the block a whole bunch of times.
Or like you got that much game.
Or that you got that much game.
Either way, you don't want them to know you got that much game, right? Especially when you're about to get married.
Yeah.
So my thing is, you got to do your research. And so...
What kind of research would you have to do?
Well, you got to do background checks.
Well, what about if you just ask them? And they don't tell you. Then what do you assume?
Well, no, that's why you got to do your research, because anybody can lie.
Well, what kind of research would you do? Would you reach out to their exes? That's not all right.
I'm going with the whole, like, every time I think maybe we did this already, and I think I did my research on you. For sure. Yeah, for sure. And I don't think you got a high body count, and I think I've
already told you my exact numbers.
Right. No, and I do think body count matters, especially if you're a girl, because, like, this isn't like you're not like,
Would that have changed your views or your mind about getting with me if you knew I had a high number?
Hell yeah.
Do you think so?
Yes.
I mean, you were already like sold the first night we met.
Nah, that would have been a definite. That would have been a rethink the situation. Might have been a deal breaker. For sure.
Yeah, but you might have been like, well, maybe that was a long time ago, and she might have changed since then. Nah. I feel like since we're in our 30s, And I don't actually know your number, which I don't even want to know, even though I've asked you for it and you didn't tell me. I don't think I want to know, because I feel like that would make me feel like...
I think for a guy that I don't have a relatively high body count, I've been in too many long relationships.
Right, and that's what I think too.
Yeah, and that's what I think about you, right? But I did do my research to find out if you out there getting if you got the running the mileage up. if you got too many miles, if you over 100,000 miles, Jenny, we gotta trade you in.
I mean, I think my number is relatively like abnormally. Is that a word? Abnormally?
Abnormally.
Abnormally low. Which I feel
low?
like a lot of people don't ever really believe me.
Yeah, no, I didn't believe you.
Because how common hooking up is now.
Right, and I get that. And especially in your 30s, hooking up is big time. Like, so that's why I definitely think it matters that if you in your 30s, you out here sleeping down with left and right. That would make me feel a little bit different. So yeah, I did my little research to find out what kind of person you are. Asked you, just like if you were gonna do a job application, you gotta ask the questions. Hey, what's your name? Hey, how old are you? Who have you been with? Like recently, I knew some of those things. Or within the last 2 to 5 years. What are you doing?
Hold on, just want to make sure that it's recording.
It is recording, isn't it? Why would you do that? We're in the middle of a conversation.
You just edit it out.
Huh?
Just take it out.
Take what out?
Part.
No. No, this is the relatable. Hell nah. Like, I know it's recording.
So if you ask me,
she trying to
and
change the
if
subject,
I told you my number, and then later on you find out that I lied to you about it, how would that make you feel?
You pretty much done in my book. Did you lie to me?
No.
Okay.
But if I did, has that ever happened to you before?
Yes.
What, that they lied?
Yes.
How did it make you feel?
Luckily, I wasn't trying to marry him. They not here right now. What does that tell you?
True.
Yeah, body count matters. If you out here RoboCopping, if you out here, and you out here Ramboing, you killing every other dude left and right. Yeah. I can't be with no killer. I told you. You can't do it. So you got to ask those questions. Again, I'm going to go with it. Just like a resume. Hey, what's your name? What's your phone number? How old are you? Those are the first 3. Who have you been with within the last...
Yeah, but you never asked me that.
Because I asked for references. And I did ask you that. I just asked you that over time.
Yeah.
Hey, so who have you been with? Oh, what about your last boyfriend? Okay, cool. I knew your other boyfriend, so I understand that your other, I knew who you were with. Then I asked for references, and I knew all your family, friends. Never heard anything bad. It's a good thing. Only heard good stuff. Now, I've done that same thing, right? Who have you been with? Not with you, but I'm saying name, phone number,
social security number.
How old are you? I gotta know what your credit score is at least. You got a 650 credit score?
Okay.
Because if you don't, we can't really build anything, right? But then after that, okay, you got a good credit score. Okay, you got a good name. You got a good number. Okay, cool. Who are your friends and family? All right, I start finding out. And then I see that you hang around with a bunch of hoes. Now, birds of a feather flock together.
Not always true.
No, always true. Tell me who you hanging around with, I'll tell you who you are. Always. And if you hang around a bunch of hoes, guess what? You're probably a hoe. And so I'm going to find out who your friend... Or I don't want you to hang around a bunch of hoes, because the moment that we get upset at each other and you tell me you going out, what am I thinking?
That the hoes are going to tell me to do the wrong thing.
Oh, yeah. Why your friends debating? All them hoes stay hating. I'm telling you.
I think it's just most important, like I said, once we're in our 30s, I feel like I don't necessarily need to know your count. I just want to make sure that you're clean and you don't have any diseases or anything going on that you've been checked. That's all I ask, and you did verify that with me.
For sure,
so
absolutely. 100%.
And that was what made me.
We
start building with you.
Right. But I think that we're on the same track, right? Because if you're not living like that and we're not on the same wavelength, then you can't build with that person, because nobody wants to be with a person that you can't build with. Nobody wants to be with a person that you can't progress with. No one wants to be with a person that you're going to stay stagnant or somebody that's holding you back. You agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? So I think when we saw each other and we realized, like, hey, look, we were testing this thing out. We were saying, hey, look, could this really happen? Because I was living in another state, you know? But I definitely asked, hey, guys, what do you think about this girl? Hey, how would you feel? You know? How would people feel? Hey, you heard anything crazy about it? What's not? And I asked you a few times. Actually, I did. I did hear one thing that I didn't like.
Yeah, but you also had misinformation.
No, not misinformation. I asked you once I found out. And I asked you. And there was an awkward moment. There has been an awkward moment for sure. But I think by that time we had already made the decision, and there wasn't anything
Sometimes
there.
I need the specific questions. Because
Yeah,
I will tell... If I am asked a question, I will tell you the complete,
Stop playing.
absolute
I
truth.
asked you, don't lie.
But
Don't
we
lie
could-
on camera. I asked you the specific question. I asked you. I don't play no games, so don't say that, you know, I didn't
Maybe
ask you.
you think
No,
you asked me in a
maybe
different
you
way.
playing around and you trying to find a loophole. I asked you. Right? I asked you. I didn't play around. I don't do those. I ask very direct questions. I expect very direct answers. That's the one thing people say they love about me or they hate about me. I ask very direct questions, and I'm not playing no games. So don't do that. Don't do that. Because that, not on camera, not while we're recording. I make sure that I ask you every single time. When have I not asked you a question that wasn't straight to the point?
Yeah, but I think that you worded it a little
No.
differently.
See, that's just by you saying that is starting to make me wonder.
No.
Yeah, because look, I don't word anything differently. I say the same thing every single time. Now, it was an old issue, so I'm not gonna bring that up. But you can't say that I don't. I'm not the type of person to word things differently. That's 100% me,
Okay, that's fair.
right? So, like, I asked you about that situation. You worded it a little bit differently, and then when I asked you again, you kind of came out with the situation.
Because you asked me more direct
No,
that time.
I asked you again the same kind of question, and you were trying to find loopholes.
Would the amount of kids the person had affect your decision in being with them?
100%.
What are your limitations?
No more than 2 kids. No more than 2 kids.
I think that for me, I think that it's important. Some people may have a lot of kids, but I think that when you actually look at it overall, like how far apart the kids are, that could make a difference too.
So I'm gonna tell you right now, right? And this is just me, okay? I'm looking at 1 kid, we can make it work. 2 kids, are they from the same baby daddy?
Absolutely. I think that really means a lot if they're from the same father.
Right.
And if they
Or
are
from the
not,
same
I'm
mother.
looking at the timeline.
Right. And even me, like, I've got 2 kids, both from different parents. Let me tell you, I know what I go through. So I don't want to go through that with somebody else. You know? I'm grateful that you like that. Not that you like it, but you're able to handle it and you understand. And my kids are there. But would I want to deal with that? No. You know what I go through. You know what I see all the time. Like, you're dealing with 2 different types of personalities.
Yeah, totally.
And they are in your life. And even my kids are 2 different personalities.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. So yeah, kids, no more than 2, because three's a party. I can't. Three's pushing.
3 is a lot.
3's not gonna happen.
And together we have 4, so that
Right.
is...
And you, luckily, I love the fact, again, all with the same person. That's what drew me to you, because you had 2 with the same person. You had the qualities of wanting to be like that wife person. It just didn't work out, right? So I look at that and I say, okay, she got all the qualities. That relationship just didn't work out, but she's actually wifey material. And if you look at me, maybe not so much. I got a gem, you know, like my level. We stepping up in the world because I picked some winners. I'll tell you that. So that's the thing that I'm saying. Like when I seen you and I saw how you were with your kids and how you are with your kids on an everyday basis, how much you care about them. That shows a lot, you know. I didn't even meet your kids right away. Like we had to kind of, you know, it was months.
I was just thinking that the other day.
Right.
It was like 3 months.
At least
By the time I had brought you around. And that's another thing too that
and you asked. You asked the other person if that was okay.
Right.
Again.
Exactly.
I picked some real winners. People ain't asking me. Okay.
Well, it's really sad the people that just keep going from one relationship to the next, thinking they found the person after a week, and then they want to introduce them to their kids.
Yeah, no, I think that's...
You know, that's just no stability for the kids.
For sure, 100%. And I think that's something that, you know, when you look at it, you got to understand too, is like, you know, what are you putting your kids around? Would I want to be in that kind of situation? Because when I had kids, I was a totally different person. Like, I wasn't the guy that I am now, right? I was young, I was immature, I was in these things. I wasn't ready for kids. Like, you know, even though you think you might be ready, but, you know, I was a kid.
You were super young when you had your first one.
Yeah, I was a kid having kids, you know? So it's like, now I look at young kids doing that, and I'm trying to tell them, look, don't rush to be an adult. Excuse me, this wine. Whew.
It's not too good.
I like it.
I'm not really feeling it.
It
But
tastes
I'm gonna
like
drink it because
tastes
that's,
like
that's what we got in quarantine.
it tastes quarantine life. It tastes like cherry Sprite to me.
Yeah.
And cherry 7-Up, which is better than someone. I'm not really a wine drinker. So, what about you? What about you? What are the limitations for you?
I think I would say the same amount, because even when I found out that you had 2 kids, I was trying to kind of make it okay in my mind. I was like, I considered the age gap. I think it was like 9 or 10 years.
Yeah,
and I was like,
for
okay,
sure.
I can't judge this guy on his past. You know, he did whatever he did back in high school. And he had a second one when he was a grown man. So when I look at it that way, if you had like more than that, and then from different moms again, like,
Yeah, no. For
I
sure.
would definitely probably find a way out of that one.
Yeah, and even with you, like, you know how I am. Like, I think that's another thing. Is like, am I actively trying to go look for baby mamas?
Exactly.
Would you say that?
Yeah, I would think that.
But I'm saying right now.
I would think that you're very fertile, and I would probably be like, no.
But I mean, right now.
Right now?
Yeah. Now that you know me and stuff like that, you think I would be like that?
No.
Well, why not? Because you just said you would think that.
I would think that, because that's your first way of like judging somebody.
So what made you change?
Because we've had talks, and we both know that we're not trying to have any kids right now.
Right. No, for sure. 100%. The way I am, I'm like, you know, and I think that's another thing is like, I don't, you know, especially how I am with my youngest, you know, I'm frustrated at the way things ended up, you know, because, you know, I feel like I've sacrificed a lot. You know, I moved to New York to go be with him as much as I could, you know, did all these things, and then still things to this day don't go the way that I would like, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But, you know, I think when we sit back and look at it, you know, I'm not in a rush to go get a third baby mama. That's not a thing.
And I'm not really trying to be that.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right. And so initially it kind of was like I had to program myself to be okay with you having more than one kid from different moms.
Right.
Because us growing up, every time we'd get with have a new boyfriend, my dad would ask, is the parents still together?
Right.
You know, it's like just values that we've had, and are they from a broken home? And it's like we kind of look at them differently if they are. But now modern day is completely different
For sure.
from what we're used to. So it's kind of like you have to kind of reprogram yourself to being open to that with limitations.
Right, for sure. And I think, you know, even in the modern day, I think Nipsey Hussle said it best. Is like, hey, look, you know, we got to teach our kids that broken homes don't set you up for success. They don't set the kids up for success. And, That's what I'm looking at. Even with my sons, don't do what I did. Don't be in a rush to do that. Even with your kids, I look at your kids like they're my kids, and when I sit back and I think, teach them how to be men early, but don't teach them to run be too fast. I think we were talking about today, just like how to teach young kids, like, hey, look, oh, you in love with her? What are you talking about, bro? You 14, but again, you got to live and you learn. But I think you should give the kids the game, right? You should teach them, and maybe not come at them because they're going to be defensive and they're not going to want to hear it. Because my son,
they'll just shut you down.
Yeah, my son don't want to hear it. My son don't want to hear it, and that's the time. That's one of the things that I look at, like my oldest kid, and I understand the time for you to be the dad has passed. You've got it now.
You just have to trust that whatever
Right.
you taught them throughout the years, they are listened and they understand it, and you gotta trust them in the real world.
Absolutely. And so my youngest, I don't play no games. When I'm in front of him, I'm trying to teach him values, morals, scruples, principles, every single time.
I see it all the time, and you can tell he sometimes gets bothered or frustrated.
All the time.
And that's okay, because when he gets older, he's going to remember all those things that you said to frustrate him, and he's going to understand it finally and respect that.
Yeah, he's going to be
Appreciate
put
it.
in decisions where he's going to have to make the right decision. And if he doesn't, it's not going to be because I didn't teach him. It's because he chose not to do it. And that's how I am. I'm one of those dads now. Like, my first one, I made a lot of mistakes. I'm not going to let that happen with my second one. I'm going to do the best that I can in the situation that we're in. Because there's not a manual. I don't think there is,
Yeah.
So.
And you're doing a great job also with my kids, so.
That's, what bothers me though?
Like, you talk to the boys like they're grown men, and I think that they actually like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
we talk to them like they're kids, and, but you can talk to them about finances, whatever, and they're interested, and they're actually, like, intrigued by it. Like,
Well, I think
I
that's
appreciate that.
I appreciate that you let me in their life. That's huge, baby. I love you. But I think one of the things is what frustrates me is that, and I think the women in my life have seen this. I'm a good father. Like, I can be a great father, right? I don't think that I get the chance to, and maybe it's because of past decisions for sure. But
like, they'll take it out on you that things didn't work out, and then they'll
whatever reason
know.
it is, I don't understand it, because if I did, I'd fix it. My first relationship made some mistakes, didn't work out, but then I feel like I was punished for not being with the person that I was with. I think the second one was just fear of me. Just don't give him the opportunity. Just close the door on it. And to me, that's upsetting, because I feel like, realistically, like, I think that it's a shame that your kids get me 100% of me, and my own kids don't get 100% of me. And that's not because I don't want them to. I think it's because I don't get the opportunity to, and when I do get the opportunity to, it's for a short period of time.
yeah.
And even in the decision making process, and that's what really hurts as well, because I don't even get a say so in that, and it's not because I don't want to. I want to be in there, but it's like, you're just gonna make the decision. You took that upon yourself to have that. And I'm not saying that those people aren't doing a great job, or that they're doing a subpar job. I just think that it's always better if both parents are around.
Yeah, totally.
So it's not to throw anybody under the bus, but it is to say, like,
When there's too much tug of war, like, it causes stress on your child.
Right,
And I
right.
feel like a lot of people don't really understand that. They only think about their best interest.
this ain't about control,
Yeah.
right? It's about your kids and them having the best chance to succeed at life. And they always say 2 heads are better than 1. Like, why wouldn't you want to do that? Like, I see the relationship that you have with your sons, with the co-parent that we have, that your son's dad. And even I look like, and I say, they call. They get an opportunity. You guys get to talk each other out. I don't hear no arguments about what's going on. There may be a little bit of frustration, like, damn, like, man, we left all the school pants at at their house.
Those are good arguments.
You know what I'm saying? Right? Yeah, they're right. Like, yo, we gotta go get more school pants because they're. But not like, oh, can I beg you to get my kid? You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, hey, why is my kid, you know, blah blah blah. Whenever a conversation has to start like, why is this? Never good. You know, never good. And so I look at the relationship that you guys have, and that's how I know, like, you're awesome. Because you guys don't ever fight about, there's no tug of war, there's no playing the kids.
Yeah, using the kids
to gain
like, hurt
an
each
advantage.
other.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
That's why I'm super thankful for that too. Have you ever had
Shout out to the kid daddy. Shout out to the kids daddy. You know I fuck with
BD?
you.
Have you ever ran into any situations where, when you've been in relationships, they didn't want you to have a relationship with the kid's parent, the kid's mom?
Have I ever run into a relationship
where the person that you're with doesn't want you to have any kind of communication with your kid's mom?
Yes.
How'd you handle that?
I didn't understand it, actually. You know, I don't understand it. There was some type of jealousy or something that was there, and I just felt like.
Can you understand the jealousy?
Yes, I could understand the jealousy, but I always look at it like this. I think me and you talk about it. Like, if I'm in a different state, you ain't got nothing to worry about.
That's true.
And if I'm with you 24/7, why are you even bringing that shit up? Like, there's like concern, and then there's flat out jealous rage. Yeah, like
crazy
you
jealous.
Just nuts. Like, you know, and I think that if you were like that, I couldn't deal with you because I travel a lot.
It's something also to appreciate having, like, if I didn't have any kids, let's say, and you had your kids, like, I would appreciate you guys having a good relationship because I'm not thinking about you guys, I'm thinking about your kid.
Right, you know? Right. I think a lot of it is immaturity. Like, you have to be mature enough to understand, like, the co-parenting situation, the blending, if you will say, you know? Like, you've got to be able to blend and be a part of the family, regardless of what the family dynamic is, you know? And some people don't see that, you know?
And if that person is an actual threat to your relationship, you'll find out eventually, and you know what? They're actually doing you a favor. You know what I mean? Like, so that you know that person's not trustworthy or whatever.
Right.
Like,
yeah. I think at the end of the day, if you ever felt like that, then you're not ready to be in a relationship with that person.
Yeah.
You know? I just think that that's like, to me, you can't be out here. I don't need you sniffing my clothes. I don't need you, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and I don't want to live that kind of life.
Yeah, like, yo, I'm thinking you're giving me a hug because you love me, and it's because you want to.
I'm just trying to smell your
see if there's a perfume.
I don't know. I don't recognize this one.
Yeah, nah, for real. I see you with my drawers in your face, and we got a problem. You know, and that's literally.
And that's and that's real stuff. Like, I've heard people that have been like that before.
Oh yeah. I don't get it. Why even be with me?
I know. You're wasting your time.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't see that.
A lot of people don't see that, and a lot of people, I don't know, like, are okay with that.
Yeah,
it's
they're like
an adrenaline rush or something for them.
It's like you want to find something.
Just to have a good story to tell people.
Just to be upset, almost. Yeah. Some people love sabotaging good shit. I get it, because I feel like at one point I was like that too, because I just didn't have any trust for anybody. And to me, I look back now and I'm like, I wasn't ready to be in a relationship.
Yeah,
why even be in a relationship? You know? But some people be like, oh, and then anything that happens, that's the thing. That person didn't want me to be in a relationship with, with my kid's mom. They didn't want me doing music. They didn't want me doing music videos. They didn't want me playing back. They wanted me at the house, bored, sitting on a couch, smoking weed, drugged up. That's how they wanted me. And I'm not that type of person. So that's why that didn't work out. And that's why we fought, you know. And so that's why we're not together. And that's why I love you, because I feel like you give me an opportunity to be me. I always tell you like this, man. You can't tame a lion. Not even if you were Joe Exotic. You know what I'm saying? You saw that. You saw the Tiger King. Shout out to the Tiger King. Hey, I saw Trump say he's gonna find out who Joe Exotic is, man. Hopefully, you get out. Hopefully, hopefully you didn't try to go get Carol motherfucking Baskins. Okay? Joe Exotic. Right. But mind you, the big cat rescue is 7 minutes from our house.
Did you Google the
Hell
address?
Yeah. I took a picture. It's right there by the McDonald's.
You know, I've looked at it for years, and I've always wanted to go. Now I question it a little bit.
Craziest people from Tampa.
I wonder if their sales have gone up, actually. Oh, or if it will after everyone's done with quarantine.
I don't know, man. She might be going to prison.
I think she will. She definitely oiled him up with
She put sardine oil on him. Oh, man, Carol. Say it ain't so, Carol. Say it ain't so. They should have let Joe Exotic though. Joe Exotic, man, too many crackheads around Joe Exotic. But yeah, like, no lie, I keep back to what I was saying. You can't tame a lion. You can't have me sitting there on a mantle inside the house. That's not my job. I go out and I hunt shit. And I bring it home.
And I'm always okay with that.
Yeah, because you like.
I would rather you be out working and making money than you being a slob on the couch playing video games all day or.
Tell that to like 50% of the women out there.
I don't ever understand why people get so mad at the hours their guy works. You know, we don't have any family time. Well, they're bringing home.
That's what I'm talking about.
Why to make you comfortable, like.
Why do people want to hold people back?
Yeah.
That's the huge thing. To me, why would you want that for anybody? You got an answer?
Some people are just naturally controlling.
That's that insecurity.
Yeah.
It's that insecurity. Oh, when he make it, he ain't gonna look out for me. Mm-hmm. Oh, when he make it, he's gonna forget about me. Oh, when he make it, when he shoots a video, he's gonna find some video vixen. Oh, when he get money, babe. I mean, you bad as hell, but you were with me when I ain't had nothing. You remember when I was sleeping on my grandmother's couch?
Yeah.
That was like 2 years ago.
But you know, I know your drive, and I know why you were doing it.
Right.
I knew you wanted to start something, and I know.
Right. You believed in me.
I believed in everything that you said and everything that you could do, and you did everything, and you've even exceeded any of my expectations. So, yay!
Angel status. That's what I like to say.
VS.
You know. But I'm telling you, like, a lot of people believe me. I had people on my back like they was a parachute. Okay, just holding me back, just. And I'm gonna tell you, man. As soon as I let the people go,
it's such a turn off on male or female side. You know, I noticed you looking at a lot of guys. You know, like it's just crazy people.
I can't live like that. That's the one thing about me. I can't live like that. I can't live with somebody that's gonna be on my ass, insecurity. Now you know this, babe. Like, I love you. I hug you every day. I kiss you every day. I'm wrapped around you. You know, when you go into bed, I go into bed. Yeah. You know, but like, you show people that you love people, but then there's a time and a place. And you know me, I gotta go to work. You know, and I gotta make it happen. Cause even in this quarantine shit, you see me. You know how I am. You see me. I'm out here getting after it.
Yeah, for sure. Every single day, from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, which is super late a lot of times because your brain is always going.
I'm moving. I'm always thinking.
And I admire that about you, because I think too many times people try being stagnant and, you know,
I can't
not living their lives to their full potential.
I become depressed like that. And I think there's people out there like me. Like, they gotta be doing something. They gotta be out of house. They gotta go to work. Because if not, if I just sit in here and just, you know, lay down, I become depressed.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, this whole situation.
We already lost out on the gym every day.
But
That's
we've been
depressing.
doing the videos. We've been doing the videos.
Yeah.
2 days. We're going on 2 days. Shout out to Dez. Dez helped me out. We did a prison workout. We flipped over the cards, and however many cards you had to do, either sit-ups or push-ups. And turns out Dez did more than me.
He did more than you.
Yeah, he did.
That was
207.
impressive. My poor boy was super sore today.
He was?
Yeah. I was like, how does your stomach feel? I was like, well, it's really sore, actually. I'm like, that's because of the workout that you did yesterday.
Yeah.
He's like, huh.
We're going to get back to it tomorrow. We're going to get back to the money. I like that. I want to see him get strong, you know?
I love that.
But, you know, Jen, I think, you know, what do you want to do? How do you want to wrap this thing up? What do you think? What do you want to leave this thing with?
If you guys have any topics that you want us to talk about,
Facts.
hit us a message or
Yeah.
even comment and let us know.
Yeah.
We're open to anything.
I
so.
want to know what y'all want to see, what y'all want to know. Because she asked me, you threw me for a curve today when you asked me about how many people, would it matter how many people you were with? You threw me for a curve. Because when I asked you, hey, what are we going to talk about? You looked at me, smiled, I got something. And then you laid that one on me.
I think it's something that's a big topic for a lot of people.
No, 100%. You kind of threw
It
me.
can kind of,
Yeah, you slid.
make or break a decision in getting with somebody.
For sure, all the way, all the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't be having a high body count, y'all. Keep that thing.
And if you got a high body count, cut it in half.
Yo, divided by 3.
But just make sure that no one's gonna find out, because I've been lied to about that before, and I told the ex about it. I'm like, hey, my cousin knows you, and I told her your body count, and she said, oh, I'm gonna find out. And then that's when
You see?
hey, just so you know, it's 4, not 3.
The
And I'm like,
references. You
wait,
did the
what? Yeah, the people I've been with, because that my cousin knew a person that he has.
Right.
So I was like,
And you mess around.
man.
You mess around and find another cousin.
yes, right, just because you know that person. But
And
guess
their body
what?
count keep going
Yeah.
up while you're with you.
No.
Nah. You can't
So
do that.
I recommend just being truthful. What will really happen? A lie. Always a lie.
Well, divide by 3, guys. Remember that, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Tune in next time for the Relatable Podcast.
Thanks, guys.
See you later. What's up, y'all? I am Vince Serrano.
And I am Jenny, and it's been the Relatable Podcast. That's REL, the number 8, TABLE podcast. You can find us on Instagram and on Twitter.
Make sure you guys like us or comment in the sections on any of the ideas that we had, all right?
We want to know what you guys think about what we talked about today.
Thanks for listening.